Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today we are looking at carriers again, and today we're looking at, I don't know what it is called. It's the Bogue, I assume, given that it's an American carrier. It could be Bogue. I am really not sure what this thing is named after. I couldn't really find any information, so if you do know, please let me know. Other than that, yes. What is this? This is the Tier 5 carrier. If you've been in this channel for a bit, you might have noticed the suspicious absence of carrier gameplay. And the reason for that is that I am actually pretty terrible at carriers. So I've kind of avoided them for a long time. And I have just recently figured, well, it's about time I get good and learn how to carrier. So I have started with the American carrier line. And this is the Tier 5 in the American carrier line. She is a CVE, an escort carrier. She was built in the 1940s, and she was actually not busy in the Pacific, dropping things of unpleasant freedom onto the Japanese. But she was a submarine hunter in the Atlantic. So her planes were dropping unpleasant things of freedom onto the Germans. And she was quite successful with that. She did sink a fair amount of German submarines. So given that she's an escort carrier, she is relatively small. And you can kind of see that here. This is not a very big ship. So what have we got here? We have terrible armor, as expected. It's probably some form of transport ship underneath. It's either usually a cruiser or one of those. Her speed is an improvement from the Langley, because it wasn't really possible to go any slower than the Langley. So she goes a zooming 16 knots and a half. Her guns, well, here's the good news. She has guns. They're 127mm destroyer guns. Here's the bad news. She only has 2 of them. And they're on different side of the ship. So you can only shoot one of them at a time, which makes them really rather useless. Honestly, if you ever feel the need to fire your gun, I am intentionally using the singular here, because you can only ever fire one of them at a time. You're probably doing it wrong. So let's ignore those and get to the much more interesting bits, which are the airplanes on it. So while the Langley had the experimental biplane dive bombers on her, can't remember what they were called. This one actually gets given that she's a lot later in the war also, gets the Dauntlesses and the TBD Avengers for dive bombers and torpedo bombers respectively, which are a bit better, honestly. But she doesn't get a lot of them, so you get 12 each, and they have a bit more hit points. The dive bombers do a bit more damage, 1500 with her bombs. I have a very good fire chance, as is common with dive bombers. And we, for the first time, get torpedo bombers. So we only have 2 squadrons to wrangle, which hopefully makes this a little bit easier for new players. The Japanese tend to get a lot more squadrons, which are smaller, but it can get a little hectic keeping them all under control. Now, if you haven't played carrier before, and I have played carrier before, but it's been a while and I have never been really very successful with it. But if you haven't, the main difference between torpedo bombers and dive bombers, other than that obviously the dive bombers drop bombs and the torpedo bombers drop torpedoes, is that while the dive bombers are happily doing this thing by themselves, the torpedo bombers need to be babysat. So you tell them where to drop their torpedoes, and if your target changes course and speed, you have to tell them, well, to drop them somewhere else, otherwise your torpedoes go nowhere. So torpedoes are a lot more hectic to control, but they are quite effective. They do a decent amount of damage. They can cause some flooding. And we get, well, 4 plane-sized squadrons, and we only get 2 of them. She has some anti-air. Not a huge amount, though. We're in Tier 5. So in the previous tier, we would actually only get in Tier 3, 4, and 5 battles with the Langley. So nobody really has much in terms of anti-air. This is not quite the same in Tier 5, because you get into Tier 6 battles and the AA starts picking up a little bit. There are some ships around which actually can hurt you. Her surface detection with under 8 kilometers isn't the greatest, but, well, what can you do? Not very much at Tier 5. There's not very much you can do about it. So, elite bonus. We can either make the ship a bit sturdier, a bit faster, really. And we can reduce the preparation time for the planes. So when your planes land, they need to be refueled and rearmed, and then they get out again. So that sounds like a good idea in general, which is why I'm going to go with that. Which brings us to her equipment. For the first slot, you can choose to either increase your dive bomber capacity and sacrifice a bit of torpedo bomber capacity. You get a net addition of planes, right? So because it's plus 20 and minus 10%, so you actually get more planes all in all. But I have again gone with the preparation time to get the planes out quicker, because you still have a fair chance to be in games that don't have much AA, and if you're a little bit careful with your planes, you should be all right, even though she does have a very small, very small set of them. Other than that, yeah, you want probably the damage control system mod, because the one thing you care, if anybody catches you, if a surface ship catches you, you're in trouble anyway. But if other carriers try to attack you, this can be helpful, and the same goes for the torpedo defense mod. So they set up the commander. Actually, came over from the Langley. So I'm just going to. Am I going to accelerate retraining? Not really. The skills here aren't that super useful at this point. So I'm just going to let him sit here and retrain by himself. It's going to be quick because it's just one tier. So let's go. Let's have a go in a tier 5 American escort carrier submarine hunting, which is very good at submarine hunting, going up against surface warships. What could possibly go wrong with me at the helm? All right, this one's a bit of a nail-biter. I'm not going to lie. We are top tier. We're dealing with Anagincourt over there, which seems like a very dangerous player. I got 2 destroyers, a Königsberg. Let's go. And another Bogue on the other end of the spectrum. So I'm playing Golden Channel, which means kind of center control, really. Well, not in this thing. Nobody can shout at me for not going into the cup when I'm in a carrier, okay? So I'm going to stay back here for now. Not really going to take aggressive position. I'm just going to send my dive bombers out for now, somewhere just across the map. Because what I really want to spot first are the destroyers. Because we only have 1 cruiser and 1 destroyer. And there are 2 destroyers in the enemy team. So I'm going to do my level best to hit these guys and see what I can do. I'm sending my torpedo planes out a little bit later, just because I like to have them a bit staged, so they don't both hit at the same time necessarily. And I can redirect. Oh, there's one of the destroyers. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, Isokaze. Let's start with you. And I got a bomb drop onto him. And you see the torpedo planes, you actually kind of have to decide. You have a little marker for how long it's going to be. I don't think I can still make this drop unless he no, he doesn't turn around. Target. Yep. This is why I'm practicing. He's very well dodged by the Isokaze. He takes cover behind the island. I don't know if he got his initial torpedoes away, but he might just be sitting there waiting if there's any more air attack coming. There's the Nicholas. He seems to be rushing the cap. The Isokaze just takes a defensive position up there. One of our cruisers goes in, so let's try to help him with the Nicholas. But of course, being a cruiser and giving broadside to everybody and the battleships on the other side, he's not going to last very long, I think. Okay, let's see. We get the torpedo planes out as well, and we missed everything, but there are some torpedoes coming out. Okay, let's try to torpedo that Isokaze again. Yep, the Nicholas is dead probably because he's running into these torpedoes. No, he survived. Okay, anyway, the Isokaze time. No, he's maneuvering obviously, and we've already lost our cruiser, so that's why the Isokaze is pushing. I'm pretty sure that's not a beginner, and I think that drop was by way not having enough lead. So I'm just going to get 1 torpedo hit, but at least it's a flood. He controls the flood, so out go the dive bombers. Now we are out of cruisers, which means that. Yep, and he starts torping our people, and he's basically pinning us behind that island, which is a really annoying location. But if I'm having a carrier, oh, come on, dive bombers, you can do it. I'm having a carrier, okay, he comes out. Torpedo planes. Can I at least chase him back in when he sees the torpedo planes coming? No, he just pokes out, gets the torps away, and that Kawachi is going to eat all of them. And he's probably not going to run into any of these. Nope, 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 dodged him. Okay, this is not looking good. We're down to 3. We're halfway through the battle. We haven't sunk a single ship. We haven't held the cap for a single second. And that bloody Isokaze is still. Well, he's on permafire. Okay. Dive bombers. Come on. You can do it. Kill that. Nope. Nope. They are missing. And the Nicholas is still alive. Oh, balls. Okay. I need to nail that Isokaze. I know his antics by now. He's poking out. He's torping. He's going back into cover. There he goes. Okay. So he's an extremely cautious player. So I'm going to approach from the other side, because then he has an island in the way and he actually has no way of dodging anywhere. So he's stopping. He ran aground. He's going backwards. Is he going? Keep going. He keeps going backwards. Nope, nope. He stops again. He's going forward. He's going forward. Lead it forward. A little bit. That might just be enough. Okay. Torps out. Isokaze. That should be 3 torps. Yes, got him. You little bugger. Okay. Oh, who else is in the cup? The Nicholas is dead. Yay. But there's the Yashinko. Okay. And 2 of our battleships are going off on a completely wild goose chase into nothingness on the right side there. And that König is fighting an Ajinko. So we'll help him as much as we can. That's a fire. And I'm going to try and get closer, because we are, while we're still not holding the cup, we're even on ships now, but we need to kill things. So I am just going to rush forward and try to shorten the distance out. Very well done. The König kills the Ajinko. Okay. There's a Wyoming. He's stationary. Okay, let's see if we can kill him. There's nothing else I can spot right now as well. So torpedo bombers out. And I'm going to try and get closer and position behind an island. I don't know where the other ships are, because I don't currently have visibility. König captures. Well done. And dive bombers as well. Let's give him the good news. And then that Wyoming. Okay, I know where the carrier is, because one of our destroyers, instead of capping, is going to choice the carrier. Well, at this point, it's actually the right move, because we need the points and we need to kill. Oh crap. There's the enemy battleship and the enemy cruiser. Okay, that's I think he damaged con, so these should be permafires, but there's a full health Königsberg. And I really, really, really don't want to be here. So turn. How are we on points? They're still over 200 points behind. But our destroyer is coming close to the enemy carrier. Königsberg? No, we have under a minute. Let's try to sink the Wyoming. Wyoming's on permafire. Out the torpedo planes again. The König is under fire here. I'm not sure if he's going to last this one. I would love to support you, but I need to kill that Wyoming. Oh, he's moving. Torpedoes. Because we need the points. 276. Our destroyer has almost got the enemy carrier. My planes got stuck on an island temporarily. That sounds unhealthy. Okay, a little bit lead. Wyoming's a very slow ship. Let's go down. 288. Is that 4 torpedo hits? Give me a flood. Give me a flood. No flood. Give me a fire. Oh, come on. Seriously. The König is still alive. He took out the König. That was a full health Königsberg. How do you mess that up? And the destroyer killed the carrier. And that's 472. 10 seconds. Okay, nobody die. König, run. Stay. I can't get the Wyoming anymore. But the König gets the Wyoming. Yes. Yes, that's it. 568. And we win this one. Half through the battle. Yes, that König is one hell of a player. Well done, whoever you are. Well done, my friend. You carried that game and no mistake. That was epic. Full health Königsberg. He takes him down. And I still managed to get... Our destroyer catches the carrier, which gets us ahead in points. Although, it's a questionable thing. But okay. Extremely well done. Oh, we even had a failed platoon. We had a tier 3 Kawachi in the game. Whew, that was a close one. Well done. Very well done, the König. So, hitting destroyers with planes is difficult. But if you are in such a situation and, there's no cruisers or anybody around who can deal with the destroyers and they're just running rampant against your ships, that's probably your priority targets. And again, I'm probably not the best player about this, but I'm learning. And I finally managed to nail the Isokaze there. So That was a good one. Anyway, carrier gameplay, tier 5, getting more exciting. That's it for today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.